Hello, welcome to this week's critique video. I had a couple thoughts I wanted to share with you before we dive in. So I shared this article with you about writing about photography, and I think it's really valuable, especially if you're going to get more into photography. It's really just thinking about how your images are going to appear to others, and it's something that we always need to think about. And I remember always talking about this to my kids, when they would make a work of art. So how do you think that's going to come across to people who view it? And it's just about playing the role of the viewer. So I have an example. I'll show you a picture of mine from when I was in school. If I can find it. There it is. So this is the picture that I wanted to show you that, to me, when I took it, I was like so excited because I thought it was so cool. We had this cloud and the colors and kind of echoes the shape of my daughter's hair and the colors of her skin. And, she's totally overexposed. So I thought, that was just happenstance. And, I thought, well, this is a happy accident for me. So for me, it was all about exhilaration and, just getting one of those happy accidents. But when I took it in front of my professors for thesis committee, one of my professors said that, is this about Hiroshima? Is this about the nuclear bomb? And I was like, no, not at all. I'm not sure what you mean by that, and I explained, what it was to me. And he said, well, it just gives me the idea of nuclear war. And I just was like so taken aback. But if you start to look up things, about nuclear war, you can kind of get the idea where he was coming from. This is nuclear bomb mushroom cloud, right? For me, it's just a thunderhead cloud in Florida, but not everybody lives in Florida and sees those all the time. And then, horrific pictures like this famous one, of people going through that horrible experience. So anyway, all this to say, every single picture that we present, it might have very different meanings than you intended. And so it's just something that I wanted us to start thinking about as we're preparing our portfolio, that everyone who looks at your images is going to bring their own life experiences to the table when they look at your images. And it's just something to think about and something more to talk about in our critique, like when we're offering suggestions, beyond, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I love it, and I actually do love that about our group. Our group is so positive and kind and sweet to each other, and so I really enjoy that. But just to give you something else to talk about. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our pictures. So, first off, let's take a look at Angela's. So Angela did this this Vanitas style artwork that is like, goes back to the Middle Ages, really. And most often I think of it like the 1600s. It was just a style of painting in Europe. And it often has, like she was explaining in her post, it often has signs that, death is inevitable. And, luxuries in life are meaningless, when we're all going to die anyway. So it's, really kind of a ridiculously somber style, but some incredible paintings came out of it. Many, many, many incredible paintings. If you look up Vanita's style still lifes, you'll see tons of great ones from the past and also from the present, really. So looking at Angela's work with that thought in mind, and then now knowing that her sister has passed away, I was so shocked. I was just like, I looked back and I read everything Angela had ever written, and I thought, did I miss this? How did I not know that she has passed away? So that makes this this photograph that she has of her sister so much more meaningful. And then now that she's put together this whole like tableau, you know, this whole story of her life and things that were personally important to her, and you know, like the watch that has stopped, like her life stopped, and oh my gosh, it's just chilling. So that said, and taking all of that in, I wanted to comment about each of the images. So I think this is the first one, and I think this is the first one. The first one was darker than the others, and you know, I kind of like that about it. However, looking at the others and the beautiful light that came from the candlelight, you know, it's almost like a progression. So here we've got this nice high contrast and nice clear flame, and everything is visible and has kind of that dark feel to it. But as we progress to the next image, it's kind of wonderful how this candlelight brings light onto the scene. Hope you see what I mean there. And then, you know, we've got this strong shadow here. And then I have to say, I think that the third image is the best. It's incredible. It's so good. The lighting is just beautiful. I love the shadows. I love the reflection. I love how the image in the frame looks like a printed image, you know, and it's like a photograph of a printed image. And then that combined with the meaning of the image, it's just, this is definitely a keeper. And I think that you should include, Angela, I think you should include the story about the image behind it when you get to your final portfolio. So great, great work. And we'll go next to, let's see, we'll go to Brandy. And Brandy, I have to tell you, to be honest, when I saw this picture, I was like, no way she took that picture. This just looks like a perfect stock photo. And if you're not sure what stock photos are, you can sell them. You know, you could go to a place like a marketplace. I think iStock, you know, there's tons of them, stock photo places. And you can list your photograph with your rights, you know, your copyright, and people can buy your image, you know, like say if they want to use it in an ad campaign or use it in an article. And I think that this is a really, really great image for stock photography. I'm so impressed with it. I love the shadows. It's so bright. It's so nicely composed. Yeah, stellar work. And then this one is a nice like product photo. For this one though, I think that I would do a little bit of editing. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here we are with the photo in Photoshop. First thing I would do would be to go to the crop tool and select the little level, and I would straighten this line. You're going to think that this is so nitpicky and minor, but it makes a world of difference. It just does. I mean, and you can try and get that just as perfect as can be. And then also, you've got like some little spots that, for a perfect product photo, you might want to get rid of those. So this is really easy to do with Clone Stamp. And so what you can do is Option click. This is going to show what I can do with the brush, and I don't care about that. Okay, Option. I hit Control click. That's how the brush. Option click. And then I can just click near it, Option click, and then click on top of it, and those little spots are gone. So, I mean, so much cleaner, right? And I might even fuss with that line again, just to get, I don't know why I'm so geometric, but it's a product of my schooling. I think I like the other one better. Yeah, because yeah, I might even take I might do something like cropping it myself and then rotating it so you see these the little elbow shows up down in the corner, and just get it to where I like it the most. And you know, of course this is just going to be your personal preference, but where most of it is like in line. But other than that, oh my gosh, I love it. It's just such a great product photo. So proud of you, Brandy. And that said, of course I'm not going to save this. That said, I only did get 2 images for you this week. The third image that you sent was a copy of the first. So we just need 1 more image there, and other than that, excellent. Okay, so look at Ellis. And Ellis, I mean, I think everybody got this reference, Milk and Honey. What a smart idea that was. And I love that the subject in the foreground is clear, and then, you know, the jar of honey is a little bit blurred, so you got great shallow depth of field there. You got some nice shadows, nice rich color in your highlights and in the honey. So that is a great photo. And then this one I like too. I like how the cabinets are framing, you know, this little grouping. And I love the warmth of the lamplight and how pretty it looks on these, you know, the basket of fruit, real fruit. I might experiment with cropping this one just to eliminate any distractions and focus on, you know, exactly what are the best parts of the photo, which for me is this part right here. So just a suggestion. And then the plates, my mom has a plate rack like this that was built into the house that she and my dad bought. But what I really like about this image is that you centered it so well, and the lines are so nice and straight, you know. So I think you I don't know if you're like me with that, but I applaud that as always, and I love all the little highlights on the different colored plates. And I know that somebody suggested that it were brighter, and I think I agree with that. You could brighten it up a little bit and increase the contrast and the saturation, you know, just to make it a brighter image. And then this one, so this is just a little cozy nook, and I think it was your aunt or your mom's friend, I can't remember. And it's just, I love the geometry of this little space. You know, there's diagonals, you know, diagonals in the light. And I just love all the little details in there. So technically, this is a still life because nothing is moving, right? It's maybe not traditional, but I'm, you know, happy to think outside the box. And another thing that I think of is home photography, I think, is underrated. I think it's a great idea. Like if you ever got into real estate, or, you know, you just want to share pictures of your beautiful home. And who wouldn't want to have pictures like that? You know, so if that were something that you were to offer, I think that that could be lucrative. So great work, Alice. And then just took a lot of pictures. So this, I think, was your brother-in-law's wedding. Maybe it's an anniversary. But this is, you know, so well focused, lovely shadows for this little koozie, you know, drink holder. I think that's really cute. And it's got such a great message. So a good detail shot for that, you know, that event. Very nice detail shot. And this one, I can't say it has the best lighting for me. You know, there are some things that are interesting about it, like the handprint on the window, I think is funny. For me, I don't think, you know, it's had enough light to be as successful as maybe it could have been. But you could also try a crop, you know, a crop of just this area, and maybe try and brighten it up and increase the contrast, and still might be able to make something interesting of it, because I do think there are interesting things. You know how I said reflections, lighting is my jam. And then this one was closer up. Also, this one's not the clearest, so not a huge fan. But this picture, I love it. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. So pretty. The colors, the way our eyes are led throughout the image, and it tells us a story. So this is like what I was saying at when we first got started tonight. You know, there's so many things here that tell me a story. You know, the crayon on the table with the tablecloths that you could probably draw on, and the basket and the note and the table settings, and, you know, this beautiful person here with her lovely hair and the lighting and the time of day. Just gorgeous. So that is a keeper. And then your dolls. Oh, so cool. The candlelight here, it really does lend a kind of an eerie feeling to this doll. The highlights and the color and the shadows and the, you know, gosh, gorgeous photo. Gorgeous. This one in comparison is a little flat, and I have to wonder if maybe that's because you use flash. Flash is the enemy. Always choose your own lighting over flash, unless you're desperate and you're, you know, recording something for the news. That's my feeling anyway. But she does have some lovely shiny highlights. on her. I just think this highlight is a little too strong and it's distracting. And she's, you know, she's cute. And then this one is, it just looks like it could be a scene from a movie, you know, like, I know there's this movie about the past called Somewhere in Time that it makes me think of. You know, it's just, it's very realistic, and the selective focus on her eyes is really pretty. So great, great, great doll photography. Excellent. Bravo. And next is Joshua. So Joshua had some realizations this week too. I absolutely love the reflections on the shiny table, the light and the shallow focus, you know, that shallow depth of field is really nice. I like the color story here. This image I might crop to be maybe more vertical. When I first looked at it, I thought, that picture, what is that? Is that a cup? I see a handle. You know, you start to put things together in your brain, and realizing that it was a pitcher, you know, like for pouring some kind of beverage or something like that, kind of didn't fit in with the story for me. So these are like snacky foods, and I love the cutting board because that feels like, you know, food photography. That's going to be coming up for us. And I love the color of the picture, but it does distract me a little bit from, you know, this great area. Like I said, I do enjoy the color though. So just thoughts, just thinking out loud. And this one I appreciate because I love that you used this great backdrop, and we can just barely get a hint of the dark curtain, but you know, it feels formal. It's a little dark for me, and I think I would also change the orientation of this photo. You know, these two, they might actually work well as a square. Something to experiment with. And then this one is, I think, is really great. I don't think this picture could be better. It's so nice and clear and focused, and you know, it does feel like two teams facing off each other, and I enjoy the lighting detail and the reflections, and yeah, just great, Joshua. So excellent work. And next is Katie. So Katie's got these fabulous pictures of, so this is your best friend's daughter, Piper, which we saw in the modeling shot. And so here, this is just a Pip. So this is adorable, and you know, I love the message, the reflection. I love the blur of, you know, the bokeh dots. I love all the textures. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this photo. And this one is very nice too. I like seeing all the details of these, you know, the jewels and all the feeling of Mardi Gras that comes with the masks and the mask and the beads and the dragon. So I think that is a really cool shot. I might experiment though with increasing the contrast a little bit more, and the saturation maybe just a hair, just for fun. And this, you know, such a simple subject. I mean, not really, I guess. I suppose it's kind of a strange subject if you think about it. This pencil holder porcupine. But it's a great image. I love that super shallow focus. I love the amount of clarity. The shadows are beautiful. The color reflection on this shiny surface. I think it's wonderful. I mean, so much detail that we even, you know, can see like a little fuzzy here. So that's a great image. Good job, Katie. And Kira. So Kira had really a lot of fun with this glass jar, skull. And I can see where that would bring you lots of inspiration and, you know, how you could get into Halloween with this. And I think this is a great picture. Some things that I love about it are the lighting. You know, all of that reflection. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Over here we've got, oh, such gorgeous light going through the glass. How spectacular is that? Did you even notice how cool that is? Definitely one of my favorite parts of this image. So this one is really good. And then this one I think is just a little overexposed. I mean, I appreciate the brightness and the colors of it. For me, it's a little bit, I guess I want to say, not clear enough and a little bit overexposed, but like I said, I really like the colors. This is great. Great, great, great. So moody. And the lighting is beautiful. It's so rich and warm. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the composition of it. You know, it's just all feeding back to this amazing you know, piece of glass with light shining through it, and so colorful. So yes, love that one. And then this one too. I mean, the skull is no longer the focus, but this is really a cool picture. I love the clarity. I love this shadow. And it's really, you know, almost perfectly symmetrical. It's got so many cool things going on. Yours is another one that I think I might take into Photoshop and patch tool, or no, not patch tool, clone stamp some of this out of the picture so that, you know, it's really just perfection. You know, I see the possibilities. So let me take you there. Okay, so here we are in Photoshop, and I just wanted to show you how easy it would be to do some little touch-ups. So I've selected the clone stamp, and I know this brush is a little bit big, but just to do quick and easy, Option click on an area nearby, and then Option click to pick up the color nearby, and then click to go on that spot. So you could really, really get into perfecting this image, and, you know, here's another spot maybe that you could perfect. So do you see what I mean? Just getting rid of any distraction and making this into a truly stellar photo. So, worth a try. I'm not going to save it, but love, love, love. Great job, Kira. Okay, and then we've got Lorna. Lorna, I love your experimentation. With this image, I think it's really good. I think the lighting is really interesting. I love the candlelight, love the reflections. Something a little bit weird happened here, though. Do you notice that the candles are like a little bit distorted? And I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure if there was editing involved, but I have to wonder if it, you know, is just like the curvature of the lens. Anyway, if you have another picture of this same scene, I would love to see it, just to see, you know, what's going on here. I mean, we could take it into Photoshop and perhaps straighten it a little bit, but there's still going to be that distortion of the candles, which is, actually, you know, it's just kind of weird. So maybe that was the effect that you were going for. There are ways to fix it. You could do a warp in Photoshop, and I could show you that real quick. Okay, so here's your picture in Photoshop, and if we go up to edit. Oh, we've got to unlock that layer. So double click, okay, layer unlocked, and then edit, transform, and then we can select warp. So this gives you kind of like a grid, like, well, actually it's not even showing the grid. Oh, there it is. As soon as you click on it, it changes it. So see how I can kind of try to unwarp that candle. It's not perfect by any means. But, you know, it's kind of fun if you wanted to, like, even exaggerate that effect a little bit. And then, you know, you get these spaces that where there's no picture. So you would have to crop it. And yeah. So you can just change that crop window to whatever you want to keep in the picture. But anyway, just fun with warp tool. Oh, I see what it is. It's set to a certain ratio. So you can just go up to ratio, and then you don't have any restrictions. You can just get rid of those numbers. And go back and do crop. And see how now I can just make it any size I want. Just get rid of those edges that got lost. And there you go. Yeah, right? Alright, not that important, but fun. Okay, get back to your work. Okay, Lorna, the next image, and this was your little mannequin guy. I use these all the time at school. There's different things I notice about this, like the area on the table of this image is really nice and clear, and we got nice shadows, and it feels really grounded and present. But when we get up here, you know, against the window, it almost appears like it leaves this space. I don't know if you see what I mean, but the arms feel like they're going up out of the picture and, you know, toward the window or something. So I don't know, it's interesting to look at. And it is a clear image. And I kind of like the silhouette of it, and I like the happy feel of it. This one could be straightened maybe a little bit, but I really like the idea of it. And then this one feels like Flash to me. It's very nicely composed, beautifully composed. But it feels to me like you used automatic Flash. And so we get some kind of glaring highlights here on the plant. Some very, very strong shadows, which I don't mind. I kind of like them. But natural light or candlelight, window light, all of these are going to give you a much better photograph. And I think this is a great composition, so you might want to try that one again. All right, Lorna, so great work. And next is Madison. Madison got this super cool thing in her window that makes rainbows, and I want it. So you've got to share that product detail with me. But I actually really love this image. I love several things about it. I like the composition a lot. I love, 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 love this mushroom shadow. I mean, that is like psychedelic. The spots in the mushrooms, how they're all different colors and, you know, different gradations of colors. And, oh, So cool. Absolutely love it. And this is just a jewelry holder. So, I mean, of course I love mushrooms, that helps too. But the only thing I notice about this image is that you cropped it a very different ratio than you did your other two. So do you see how this one's very tall and thin? And then this one is almost a square, and this one is a rectangle. So when we get into our final portfolio, you're going to want to make like images that go together, make them match, make them have the same aspect ratio, which is just the same ratio. So like if one of the images is 4 by 5 inches, when you look at image size, then the other two images should be the same. Do you see what I mean? I hope that makes sense. And that's it. I love this picture too. Super clear. I just love the rainbow framing. I love the composition of these three pumpkin characters. I don't know if we even needed the Coke bottle in there, but it's, you know, it still works. It's got nice light, nice and clear, but, you know, another great still life. And then this one is really nice as well. I mean, look at the effects on this glass from that rainbow light. So pretty. Love the little reflection here. So yeah, I am just gaga over glass and reflections and highlights, and it's just, you know, and it is actually not that easy to get this kind of a shot, this perfect photo of glass. You've got all the right ingredients here, you know, that dark background and just the angle of the light. So excellent, awesome, Madison. And Tatum's our last one. And Tatum took some photos of her little precious crystals, and they're just like, you know, a bunch of little friends here, all grouped together on the fuzzy blanket. Look like they're gonna have a sleepover. So, I mean, it's kind of funny, you know, like the stories that you come up with when you're looking at something, and, you know, I mean, that was just the idea that came to me. You know, like they're all on the couch ready to watch Netflix, and, you know, the sun's just going down. I can see this beautiful light. So, really cute. Pretty interesting photo. And then this one, just one little crystal. The rectangular prism sitting upright, you know, it's almost like a lonely portrait, you know, by himself. Oh dear. Or herself. But that this one, I mean, it has a completely different character about it. You know, rectangular prism guy or girl is nestled back into the fur, and, you know, that makes this image so fun for me. It's just really cute. So great work, Tatum. And I know for everybody, I didn't really get into your notes this week, but rest assured that I did read them, and I know that everyone else is reading each other's notes, and we're really getting into the nitty-gritty and the most fun part of this course, where you've already got some skills and you're taking them into these new photo shoots every week, and you're going to want to just keep doing as much research as possible. And one of the things like that I was thinking of as well is, so you guys have course evaluations coming up. And one of the suggestions that I received in the past was to do videos like this at the beginning of the week, where I show and explain everything. And I agree that that would just give you exactly what to do. However, I kind of like seeing how everybody comes to each assignment with their own ideas, and then, you know, we go and we share them all together. We come back in this little group, you know, it's like an art club, and we show what we did, and, you know, we're like so proud of each other, and we each had our own unique take on what I gave you. So I think with me telling you every specific little thing that I think you should do in a video, I think it would take away some of that. So you'll have to let me know what you think. If you really feel like that would be more beneficial, then we can try it. And, you know, I would be happy to do that. But anyway, I think I've talked long enough for tonight, and have a good night, everybody, and hopefully I'm going to get your grades in sooner this week. I know I will. Okay, good night.